Everybody stand up and rejoice with one voice.
My fellow Americans, for many months, the President and his associates have been under intense scrutiny for their actions during the presidential campaign and since the inauguration of President Trump. Many of the Trump associates have resigned, and many more have been indicted for possible criminal behavior. Some have even pled guilty to such behavior and have cooperated with Mr. Mueller's investigation. Although the President has not been indicted, the possibility of an indictment has been the subject of intense debate. The President recently announced his intention to withdraw our troops from their mission in Syria. Today, the Secretary of Defense, a four-star general with a lifetime of honorable military service, announced his intention to resign in protest of this action. In recent days, we have also seen the concern of the business community about the instability of the President's economic policies, expressed in a serious downturn in the value of major business entities. These policies have also caused serious damage to the agricultural community. Given these facts, I believe it is time we ask a very serious question. It is a question I did not believe I would ever ask, but recent events cause us to give it serious consideration. If the President of the United States was secretly acting as a covert agent of Russia and its president, what would he do? Understand that I am not making an accusation. I am simply posing a question for our most serious consideration. If the President was a secret agent of Russia, would he damage our relationships with traditional allies like the NATO nations and other traditional allies like Australia, Japan, and others? Would the State Department be understaffed to the point where it had difficulty fulfilling its diplomatic function? Would he accept financial benefits from countries wanting to subvert our diplomatic and economic positions to the detriment of our country and its people? The United States is the strongest military power on the planet. We have used that power to protect and defend traditional values which promote life and liberty around the world. Would a covert Russian agent want to strengthen our ability to defend these values, or would he, as Commander-in-Chief, order actions which would allow adversaries to take actions contrary to these values? If criticized by an adversary for our military policies, would he respond with orders to limit our commitment to these policies? If Trump was acting covertly as a Russian agent, would he attempt to damage our faith in traditional institutions such as a free press? Would he refer to news agencies as enemies of the people? Thomas Jefferson wrote that a well-informed electorate is a prerequisite to democracy. If Trump was a covert Russian agent, would he try to destroy our faith in our sources of information? A stable environment is essential to a healthy lifestyle. Would a covert agent appoint people to be guardians of the environment who are hostile to actions to protect the environment from harmful influences, we also need to examine the social environment. Would a covert agent want to solidify the country in a united effort to cope with the difficulties which confront us? Or would he exploit our cultural differences to weaken our ability to act in unison for the common good of all? Since the government controls a wide variety of issues, the president must rely on his advisors for competent counsel on these issues. Would a covert agent select the most competent people as his advisors, or would he select people with a history of antisocial behavior who would have to resign in disgrace, further deepening the distrust of the American people in the institutions of government? Again, I am not making an accusation. I am simply asking whether we, as a freedom-loving nation, shouldn't be seeking answers to questions about our national character and the president. In asking these questions, we should not rely on political ideologies. We should rely instead on the duck theory. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, flies like a duck, and hangs around with other ducks, it's probably a duck. Thank you for your time and attention.